What's up, Southern Comic Geek, coming to you with a new comic book day, etc., etc., etc. day call today. And look, doing a little company man, a little wink ink action right here, the numbers guy. Seriously, though, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notification so when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. If you're watching this on another platform aside from YouTube, then we appreciate you as well. Be sure to hit the appreciation button, whatever it's called, on your appropriate platform. Do want to shout out the YouTube channel members as well as the Patreon members for supporting the channel. As always, thank you. Also, visit gocollect.com to find out about your comic books in this ever crazy seller's market that we're in. And you can find all that information for free and even more in-depth information with a paid-for membership. So having said that, let's see the intro. All right, so like I said, I got a mail call today. Got made a stop at the Books A Million and then also the local comic book shop. So quite the heavy little day today. So let's start with the mail call. So this mail call brought to you by Beta Ray Jim. Beta Ray Jim, as he's known on the YouTubes, sold me these books a while back, and he was holding them for me until I got enough. I said, let's just go ahead and make it happen and get these here. So with these Turok gold keys, and the Whitmans, they started numbering them, but with the gold keys and the Dells, they didn't number them. So I'll have to look up on my app, my CLZ app, as to what number this is. But the Hunker Pit, which is what they call the dinosaurs, if my memory serves me correct, where a man's only weapons are his bare hands. So always like the painted covers of the gold key books. And then this is 127, which I think I actually had. Mauled by a hunker, Turok's fate is in the hands of a hostile medicine man. But this is one of the later issues because this is a Whitman. Also got a little Tales to Astonish action, 84, Like a Beast at Bay. Little action there. And so I was looking to see if that was a Kirby. I don't think it's a Kirby cover. And then we got Tales to Astonish 100. So this is either the last issue or next to last issue, an epic length 22-page battle. Wow. So there you go. Also, he had threw this up, and I don't plan on keeping this, but it's a really cool book. So I'll probably be either selling it on my Saturday morning Cartoon Crew auction that takes place on this YouTube channel, Southern Comic Geek, at 1 p.m. Central Time. So I don't know if I'll sell it there or if I'll do a giveaway for one of the channel members or what I'll do with it just yet. But it's really cool, especially if you're a DC person. Justice League of America number 11. So this book was really loved, but it's Justice League number 11, 12-cent goodness. So almost a single-digit issue of Justice League. I'm not a huge Justice League guy. The only one I care about is this one up here that's in this blue bottle, Batman. And there you go. But for the rest of them, be a pretty cool get for a Justice League fan. So made a stop at the Books A Million, and pretty much the Books A Million, at least the ones that I have gotten back out of the floppy game, gotten back out of selling individual comics. They haven't been selling new ones, but they have been selling some used ones that they purchased. Now I guess they're saving them for their second in Charles stores. Awkward sip of coffee. Brought to you by Batman. So, but I was able to pick up a couple there. Secret Weapons, number 4. Knew I had to throw a little Valiant goodness in there somewhere, right? These are some Milestone Comics newsstands at that I'm going to be selling somewhere. Secret Weapons #3. So 4 was actually the last issue. So I had 1 and 2, so finished that set. Then this one is Quantum and Woody Valiant sized. So I guess essentially an annual of sorts, and paid a whole doll hair for it. Actually, 90 cents, since I have a Books A Million membership card. And then also Ninja K, so also known as Ninjat, but in this rendition, they started going by Ninja K, and essentially you're a ninja, and it's kind of like 007 is like the 7th one. Ninja K is whatever number of the alphabet that is, ninja, whatever. So this is issue 3. This is the pre-order edition, and then this is issue 4, the pre-order edition cover. So a couple of those there for the PC. And I guess with, at least at the time of this recording, for those of you who on YouTube will be watching this on the rewind or the pre-recorded basis, May the 4th and the Revenge of the 5th being fresh on my mind, got into a little Star Wars mode and was filling in some gaps in the Star Wars Volume 2 run, when Marvel took back over from Dark Horse run Jason Aaron had started. So this is issue 31. This is part 2 of 5 of the Screaming Citadel, which was a crossover between the titles that were running at that time. Then we got issue 33. Issue 35. Then we got issue 36. The member of the Star Wars crew with the worst mouth. He gets bleeped out all the time. Then we got issue 38. Karen Gillian writing that then. And then issue 39. Also picked up Doc Afra #1. Then we got the Star Wars #2 from the Dark Horse run. These are some great Alex Ross covers. You can see the Boba Fett right here. You can see Darth Vader kind of leaning down there. And Millennium Falcon, of course, shooting out. Pretty dope. All right, well, that was a mint comic. Then we got Star Wars #4, which is another Alex Ross cover. Pretty dope. And then Star Wars #3, again, another Alex Ross cover, which is the main reason I bought them, because essentially all these stories in Dark Horse are considered non-canon now. So definitely a cover buy. So then I went to the LCS. A lot later than usual. Luckily, I typically go on freshcomics.com and order or find the comics that I'm wanting, and I email a list to my shop so they know what I want to pick up, because titles come and titles go. And as opposed to me saying, okay, always pick up Immortal Hulk or always pick up X-Men, I just send that list to them every week. That way I try not to miss something. It's not 100% proof, but that's pretty close. We got Firepower #11. So I've been enjoying this Robert Kirkman story, but it seems that this story right here must be taken away from Oblivion Song, another Robert Kirkman deal, which is another story of his that I like. Obviously, he's more known for the Walking Dead property, but yeah, like the vibes on that. Then picked up Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha. And if you can see, this is McNiven after Platt. So this is a homage to a Stephen Platt Moon Knight cover. And then you see Han Solo in Carbonite, Charles Soule, Steve McNiven. So pretty good little team there going on. I got several of these in various different covers, like the action figure cover and stuff like that, from a seller on YouTube, Gorilla Tide Comics, just last night. And I got Walking Dead Deluxe. Every single time I say, I'm going to see where the volume starts. So I'm going to buy the volume as opposed to getting to the comics, but I keep forgetting because I think they're actually putting this out like every 2 weeks. And then, of course, Immortal Hulk killing it with the homage covers. Bennett, who does the inside interior work, doing the homages, and this is no exception. So this is an homage to Uncanny X-Men 141, I believe, with that has the Wolverine and Kitty Pryde on there. So pretty dope. And then the Immortal Hulk 46, which is the Alex Ross covers. So I've been picking up the Bennett covers that are relative or homages rather, and then also the Alex Ross covers. These Immortal Hulks, a lot of the ones when they were really picking up steam or going to third and fourth prints. I'm not worried about that because they're just reprints of the interior art on the cover. I like the Bennett and the Ross covers. Nocterra #3. So this is a series that Scott Snyder and Tony Daniels have been putting out. I gave it a shot because I like Scott Snyder's work overall. And that's the only reason I gave it a shot. So one was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Two really sped things up, which I feel like that's really how you should tell a story, right? You do just enough. I mean, you don't want to just give it everything you got on #1 and everything else is a letdown from there. You want to kind of build up something. So I feel like they're doing that. And then this is issue 3. Batman 108. DC, what you're going to convince people to do, like me, is to choose one cover or the other. So what I have been doing for, I guess, probably since Tinian has been on Batman, is I've been doing the A and the B covers. And if I could get the incentive cover at cover price or maybe a little bit less than incentive, so $25 or less, I would pick it up. That's going to not be the pricing, the deal anymore, because DC is deciding to do $4.99. $4.99, which used to be the price for the cardstock cover. And of course, now the cardstock cover is going to be $5.99. So it's kind of at that tipping point for me, especially on covers like this. I mean, this looks like either a Warren Lau or an Art Germ cover, probably Art Germ. Yep, Art Germ. So this is an Art Germ cover. And, you know, it's okay, but it's not like, okay, I got to have that comic. You know, some of the Batman ones that Delato have been doing. That's Delato, isn't it? I get him and Perillo mixed up. That's Delato. That has been doing is like straight fire. Okay, yeah, I got to have one of those. And the A cover's been pretty decent, so I want to pick up that as well. You're going to convince me to not have that. So the extra dollar you made, you have to sell 6 more copies in order to make up for one person lost. You know, and how many more people are going to be like me? So Swamp Thing #3. This is a 10-issue miniseries. It seems like it was a few issues less than that at start, and maybe they kind of branched it out. So based on some recommendations from several people in the comic book community, I decided to pick up Swamp Thing. This is a new avatar for the Swamp Thing, for the Green. And so, you know, if you are not reading Swamp Thing, I would recommend it. Ram V is doing some good stuff. So I picked up that. I was actually looking at my LCS for the Swamp Thing because there was only 2 of them. Future State, I couldn't find it. So I don't know if they just didn't order them or what, but then we've got the next Batman, Second Son, #2, which I believe this is the B cover, and just a real dope cover. Talking about Delato, just Delato goodness right here. But some people were like, yeah. And for me, the next Batman, you're not Bruce Wayne. Okay, so you're secondary Batman. You're part of the Bat family. So for those of us who typically gravitate towards the Bat-related stuff, you're going to like this. For those, it's like Bruce Wayne and no more, then you're not going to like this. And so the writing's been okay. Ridley's been, okay. I mean, it's not no right home. It's not groundbreaking, earth-shattering writing or art or anything, but it's pretty good. So this book came out last week, and I had forgotten what cover that I had ordered. The LCS had told me last week, hey, this is the only one we couldn't get, but it's coming next week. That's hit or miss. I don't know about your LCS, but it's hit or miss for mine. But this is Shadow Man #1. This is, of course, an homage to some horror film I can't think of. But there were quite a few covers to include a glass cover. A community member reached out and saw one for $250, which is a 1 in 250. And but I'm not quite sold on it yet. There's a Jenny Frizen cover. There's, of course, the A cover is pretty good by itself, but I like these little homages, so decided to go with this one. Picked up Hellions #11. So this has probably been one of the surprises of the House of X, or let's see, would it be House of X? No, House of X Powers of 10, whatever it's going right now. Reign of X. I think it's called Reign of X now, since House of X has taken place. So this is one of the surprises for me. I started not to even worry about this book, but it's #1. Let's see what we got. And I've been pleasantly surprised. It is actually one of the better series in these X-Men titles right now. So hope it doesn't mess it up by getting into this whole Hellfire Gala thing that they got going on, which I couldn't care less about. Iron Fist #5, which this is being done by Larry Hama. And these are Philip Tan covers. Yeah, Philip Tan covers. And yeah, so these this is a mini series. I only think there's 1 or 2 more issues left, but it's been pretty good. Nothing to write home to mom about, but pretty good. I was actually pleasantly surprised last week. Last week was a pretty big week for me too. Typically, I spend about $40 a week in new comic book stuff. So discounting those old Star Wars that I got. But normally $40 is what I'm at. So of course now some of them are raising prices. The DCs in particular raising prices. That's going to change some stuff. There's always mini series coming off, but there's always new ones going on, and so that's about typical. And more oftentimes than not, unfortunately, is I get this books in, I get around to reading them because I read them the same week. And I read them and I go, man, that wasn't worth the price of admission for sure. However, last week was a pretty big week and it did not disappoint. I was pleasantly surprised by every one of the stories, which is probably the first time in a long time, especially for a big week. I mean, you could kind of expect, okay, so you're down to 2. All right, that's easy to say. Hey, all of them were exciting, but to have a big week and not be disappointed, it's like drinking great coffee. So Marauders #20, Jerry Duggan, which I feel like does a really good job with Savage Avengers, is hit or miss for me on the Marauders. 1 minute I'm like, fantastic, let's keep this title. The next minute I'm like, all right, this one's getting dropped like yesterday's news, like Excalibur and some of this other stuff. But with this cover, this great throwback cover from the greater era of X-Men, I couldn't pass it up, so I decided to get that. This series I had dropped back when the Batman Who Laughs storyline had stopped. The art, I think, kind of went off kilter, and then I'm like, all right, I'm cutting this list, because what I do, just so you know, I will take these books and I'll prioritize them. I'll say, okay, this one I'm ready to read. I'm really ready to read this one. I prioritize them, and sometimes I wish I would have prioritized them different after I read them. But so I do that and I read them. If after I prioritize them, they're in the same order, I'm looking at the bottom one and I'm going, do I really need you next time? And that's kind of how I cull out my pull list. And so this particular book had gotten culled out, but it's back. It seems like it's got a new creative team. It's kind of a new and different direction since the whole death metal deal took place and all that. So it was highly recommended to me. So I picked this up, Batman and Superman number 17. Now, the problem with me being a completionist is that it's going to bother me that I've got like 1 through 6, and then it picks back up at 17. Work on this, Jason. Work on this. Oh, focus, Daniel-san. Focus. We'll see what we can do. So, yeah, pretty big fat stack just talking about the new comic book stuff, let alone everything else that I got. Now, these are really interesting. My shop does not have an awful lot of, here's those cards. Let me show you these cards. So this is Heroes Reborn, which they basically pack it or cut the cards to be like a whole sheet. So when you put them in a 9-card sheet holder, they would be like a page of various actions. And these cards are actually cover options for these different comics. Heroes Reborn is coming out of the Avengers and all that other kind of stuff. I am not, there's no way that I there's no way I could care any less, because I can't care any less about this storyline. Okay, this is dead on arrival for me. Heroes Reborn was lame back in the 90s. Now you're going to recycle it over again. Miles Morales is having to face the clones again. You know, come up with a different story. How about that? So, but anyway, I did get the pack because the comic shop was giving them out for free. So my shop does not have a lot of pops, but on occasion they get some. And I told you a while ago that I have been in the Star Warsy type mode due to May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th. And so I got these right here. These are the Light and Sound. So I've never gotten a Light and Sound. So you Funko Pop collectors out there, let me know in the comments what you think about these. So this is the Light and Sound Kylo Ren, which I've been saying I wanted to get a Kylo Ren pop, but I just hadn't seen one in a while. And I got the Darth Vader light. So grandfather and grandson, and they both Light and Sound. Now, I don't typically open my pops. I just haven't gotten past it like I have with action figures. So I don't typically open them. I put them in the pop protectors and I place them up there where I place them. However, I'm very tempted to do something with these because they Light and Sound. So let's see if I can be at least amount obtrusive as possible. If I can open this box and put it back the way it was before. Let's see. I feel like I'm committing cardinal sin here. Oh, that is so dope. Oh, that is so dope. All right, I'm going to take them out. So what I'll do as the compromise, I'll put this back in here. Put that back in here like so. And I paid $25 for it. Again, Funko Pop collectors, let me know if that was a good deal or a fair deal or not. Not that it really matters, but I'm just curious. But yeah, I'm going to have to do that. And what I'll do is I'll still put it in a pop protector because it'll go in my little stack of boxes and I don't want to get the box all dinged up. But that is just so dope. It's pretty cool anyway. So it's just like the reflecting blaster bolt still. So it's got 2 or 3 different sounds with it. So really dope. Let's see if I can do that with this box. And I knew when I bought them, I said, I can't leave them in there knowing that they do that. And then I'm going to commit cardinal sin because all my other pops, which they're probably, truth be told, probably easier to, I was going to maybe try to legitimize my taking them out of the box, the pops that is, by saying they're easier to store or display, but that's not true. You can't stack one on top of the other like this. You can in a box. So put that back down in there. Anybody joining, I appreciate you joining while I ramble through my various pickups from today. This office is a mad house right now. I've got to get some of these stuff board and bagged. I bought some extra boxes, comic book boxes today to try to have some more room to put all this stuff in. So let's see what Vader does. Vader. Oh, Vader. Oh. So there was a little thing in his, but there wasn't in Kylo. So somebody must have opened Kylo already. See his little stand lights up. Is that kind of like the Hoth? I mean the Bespin stand. Dude, that is so dope. That is so dope. Don't you think so? Yep. All right. So thank you for showing up, and thank you for watching and listening to all this madness. Be sure to hit the applicable, depending on what stream you're on, sign of appreciation, and be sure to follow me on YouTube and Instagram. To be sure not to miss any of the various giveaways that I'm doing, and certainly want to give another shout out before we get out for the YouTube channel and the Patreon member. We do appreciate you, as well as GoCollect.com, whom you can visit for all of your collecting questions. And that's it. Until next time, folks, keep reading, keep collecting. Adios.